What Mama Said, a Solangelo Percy Jackson story. Chapter 1. Will sat in his cabin alone. Nico wasn't awake, and Will couldn't sleep. How could he? He was going to introduce Nico to his mom. His stomach turned. He loved his mom, but he didn't know how she would react. Will just told his mom he wanted her to meet someone from camp. He wasn't ashamed of Nico. He loved him. But this was different. He never told his mom he was bisexual. He left his cabin. The cold winter air bit his cheeks. He walked to cabin 13. He opened the door. Nico was still sleeping. Will smiled at him. Nico opened his eyes. Will blushed. "Will, were you watching me sleep?" Nico asked, and Will blushed harder. "No," Will said, and Nico laughed. "Good morning," he said, but he wasn't laughing. "Hey, you okay?" Nico asked. He looked into Will's eyes. "You seem like something's on your mind." It's time I told you. In a week, I'm gonna have you meet my mom," Will said. He felt like he was crying. "She doesn't know I'm bisexual, meaning she doesn't know about you. I am not ashamed of you. I walk these hard because I love you, but right now," he sighed. Nico held Will. Will cried into his boyfriend. "It's gonna be okay," Nico said, and kissed Will's forehead. "I promise." Will felt like everything had just become good. That happened when he was with Nico. "How'd I get such an amazing boyfriend?" Will asked. Nico laughed. "I ask that all the time. You're the greatest person I know and I love you," Nico said. Will smiled like the sun at him. The room was quiet. Nico and Will both leaned in and kissed. It wasn't long, just sweet and short. They pulled away. Nico smiled. "Sunshine?" "Yes." "Remember a few months ago, you and I were in Tartarus?" "Yeah, and?" "That proves you can get through things. You, a son of Apollo, can get through that place," Nico said. His Cocoa Puffs came in. They really liked the snow that came down Long Island Sound. One crawled into Will's lap like a cat. "Neeks? Can I kiss you again?" Will asked. Nico nodded, and the two kissed. Will loved Nico more than anyone. He felt Nico's lips on his. A million happy fireworks went off in his head. He always felt this way when he was happy. Sitting in the dining hall, Will and Nico leaned into each other. The morning air cooled down everything. Nico smiled. Will hugged him. Nico got an idea. "Hey, Will." He looked at his boy with a smug look. "Yeah? You know I love you, and you know we're going to get through this. Correct?" he said. Will blushed. "I love you too." Aw, Nico said. And then looked behind him. "It's snowing." "I never wear a jacket," Will said. "Doctor's orders." The two got up and went to the snow shed. They got out their snow gear and went into the snow. Will made a small ball and hit Nico in the face. Nico's Cocoa Puffs started making a snowman. Nico and Will joined them. Nico decided to make a Will man, and Will decided to make a Nico man, even adding Nico's 3 small scars. He also decided to troll Nico by making it shorter than the one Nico's making of Will. "Looks just like you," Will laughed. And Nico jumped on him. "You dork," he said, and he and Will landed in the snow. Nico kissed him. Will smiled. He saw that the Cocoa Puffs made a sculpture of what looked like Octavian, if Octavian was even more ugly than he was. That night, Nico and Will sat on the dock. Nico leaned into Will. "You're cute," Will said. "I'm lucky to have you in my life. I love you." He held Nico's hand. "I love you more." Nico smiled. "Not possible. I love you more than anyone I love." Will started to hum a song. Nico looked at him. Sometimes Will did this, but now he started to sing the words. Nico could barely make them out, but he loved it. Will looked into Nico's eyes. "What?" "Just," Nico cut himself off and pulled Will in and kissed him. Will smiled. "Thanks for today. I really love that you've been keeping my mind off of everything," he said. He pulled out a phone. The Valdez had made them for every demigod. He opened his messages with his mom. "Will, Hey, Mom, what's up? Naomi. Hi, Will. You coming up in a week? Will. Hey, Mom, can I bring someone? Naomi. You got a girlfriend. Anyways, you should be open-minded when you come here. There's someone I want you to meet. Love you. Will turned off his phone and walked with Nico back to his cabin. Just as Will was about to leave, Nico stopped him. Hey, come with me, he said, and plus, I can tell you're upset. I saw the text. Will got into bed with Nico. Nico nuzzled into Will. Nico went to sleep. Will held his boyfriend. He loved Nico. He really did. He was his everything. He wanted to marry him. He stopped that thought. Nico had just turned 16, and Will was newly 17. He hardly had his driver's license. He got an idea. He and Nico didn't have to fly, or use one of Nico's idiot ideas of travel. He and Nico could use a van that the camp had. No one used it. But it was still in good use. He could spend time with Nico without any demigods around. He looked at his boyfriend. When Nico slept, he didn't scowl. But after TARDIS, Nico smiled more with Will. He looked at where the Cocoa Puffs slept on the cat tower Nico had gotten them. Will yawned and fell asleep.